Okay, so job security, I think it's something we all think about, especially these days with so much talk about AI and automation taking over and all that. So today we're diving into an article that really got me thinking, this insurance role projected to be among the jobs in greatest decline. Pretty catchy title, right?
Yeah, definitely grabs your attention.
It was published on February 20th, 2025 in Source Name, and it focuses on, well, claims adjusters.
Claims adjusters, really? That's not the first job I think of when I hear robots are taking over.
I know, right? Me neither. But this article makes a pretty compelling case that the future of claims adjusting might be way more automated than we realize.
That's a little worrying for anyone in that field, for sure. So where does the article say this is all heading? Like, what's the prediction?
Well, it paints a kind of stark picture. The World Economic Forum is predicting that by 2030, get this, more claims adjuster roles will be displaced than created.
Wow, so not exactly a rosy outlook.
Not exactly, no, but, considering the wave of retirements they're expecting in the industry, plus the rise of automation in general, maybe it's not a total shock.
Yeah, true. There's definitely a lot of factors at play.
Right. And the article highlights how those two factors are like converging, in a way that could really reshape the whole claims adjusting landscape. And it gets even more specific when it zooms in on Canada. They use data from Crawford and Company Canada and the Insurance Institute of Canada.
Oh, Canada. So what's the outlook looking like up north?
Okay, so according to the Insurance Institute of Canada, claims jobs are going to make up 8.5% of all industry retirements over the next 5 years. That's about 1,830 claims professionals retiring nationally between 2023 and 2026. And get this, apparently commercial lines are seeing higher retirement rates than personal lines.
Huh. That is interesting. I wonder why that is.
Yeah, it makes you think, right? Like, are there already gaps emerging in the workforce even before automation really hits?
Yeah, exactly. It's like this isn't just robots replacing humans, it's a whole bunch of things happening all at once, creating a real challenge for the industry.
So we've got declining job prospects, a wave of retirements, this potential skills gap. It's kind of bleak, right? But here's the thing. The article doesn't just focus on the negative. It offers a more nuanced perspective on how AI might impact claims adjusting. And that's where things get really interesting.
Okay, I'm listening. What's the silver lining? Are telling robots aren't taking over after all?
Not exactly, but they present AI as more of a complementary force than just disruptive. So instead of robots just straight up replacing humans, they talk about how technology can actually help firms navigate those labor shortages we were talking about, and at the same time free up adjusters for, higher value tasks.
Oh, okay. Now that's interesting. So it's not necessarily about jobs disappearing, but more like jobs evolving.
Exactly. And to illustrate this, they quote Greg Smith, the president of Crawford and Company Canada. He talks about how automation allows adjusters to focus more on policyholder service and empathy, that human touch that technology can't really replicate. It made me think about how AI could actually make a job more human instead of less.
That's a good point, but I'm still a little skeptical. Like, how exactly does AI free up adjusters to be more empathetic and give better service? What does that look like in practice? Yeah, it almost sounds counterintuitive, AI helping us be more human.
I know, right? But the article gives some really cool examples that make it make more sense. They talk about this 3D imaging technology that lets remote experts like virtually walk through a loss scene with the on-site adjuster.
So instead of like flying an expert across the country to look at a damaged building, they can be there virtually through this technology.
Exactly. And it's not just about saving money and time. It also means assessments can be way more collaborative. The remote expert can guide the on-site adjuster, point out things they might have missed, and even use it for training.
Ah, see. So it's not replacing the human element, but augmenting it.
Yep. And there's more. They also talk about tools for estimate review and coverage review that use AI to help adjusters work more efficiently and accurately. They can analyze damage reports, flag potential issues, and even suggest coverage options based on the claim.
That's pretty impressive. It's definitely not the robots are taking our jobs story here all the time. It sounds more like these tools are powerful assistants helping adjusters do their jobs better and serve their clients better.
That's exactly it. Greg Smith says in the article that technology isn't a silver bullet, but a way to augment human capabilities. And I think that's a really important takeaway. AI can handle those repetitive, data-heavy tasks, which frees up adjusters to focus on things that need human judgment, empathy, problem-solving skills.
That makes sense, but doesn't that also mean that adjusters will need like a whole new set of skills to be successful in this new tech-driven world?
Oh, absolutely. The article mentions that too. It says that while technical skills will always be important, soft skills are going to become even more important.
So things like communication, empathy, problem-solving, critical thinking.
Exactly. Those are the uniquely human skills that AI just can't replicate. The ability to connect with clients, understand their needs, and navigate those complex situations using data and human intuition, it's going to be more valuable than ever.
It's interesting how this connects back to the bigger picture we've been talking about. As AI and automation become more common in all kinds of industries, those human-centric skills are probably going to be what really makes people stand out in the workforce.
Totally. This deep dive into claims adjusting has actually given us a glimpse into the future of work in general. It's not about being afraid of robots. It's about figuring out how to work with them, using their strengths while we improve our own. Makes you think, what skills are we working on that'll still be useful in like 5 or 10 years, right?
Yeah, totally. It's a question we should all be asking no matter what we do. I think being adaptable and, being willing to keep learning new things, those are going to be crucial.
Absolutely. And this whole deep dive into claims adjusting has given us a really good example of how technology can be disruptive, but also create opportunities. It's not just about jobs disappearing. It's about jobs changing, new skills becoming important, and how humans and AI need to work together well.
I think that's the biggest takeaway. We shouldn't see AI as this scary thing, but as something that can help us do more and better and let us focus on what makes us human.
Yeah, for sure. Instead of worrying about robots, we should be thinking about how to use them to our advantage. And for people in claims adjusting, that means being comfortable with technology, developing those soft skills we were talking about, and showing they can adapt, solve problems, and navigate this changing world.
Totally. The future belongs to those who can learn and adapt and change along with the technology that's shaping everything.
So to wrap up our deep dive into the future of claims adjusting, I'll leave you with this. Don't be afraid of change. Go with it. Use technology as a tool to make your skills better and find new opportunities. The future of work is all about working together, not competing.
And remember that human touch will always be important. It's those human skills that make us different, and those are what will set us apart in a world that's becoming more and more automated.
That's all for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time for another deep dive into something new and interesting.